All right, starting this bulletin with breaking news that we are getting in. The Narendra Modi government could very well be bringing in an ordinance to ensure a top Babu gets to the principal secretary to the Prime Minister. Nripendra Mishra, who has already been given the job, was the telecom regulator of TRAI Chairman between 2006 and 2009. Under current rules, a regulator cannot hold a central or a state government job after demitting office, reports suggest. The government could be bringing in an ordinance to overturn this particular rule. Well, that is the latest that we're getting in. Prime Minister's principal secretary could in fact be brought in through the course of an ordinance which the Narendra Modi government is all set to bring in to ensure that this particular Babu gets to that principal secretary post to the Prime Minister. The name is Nripendra Mishra. He has already been given the job and was the telecom regulator of TRAI Chairman between 2006 and 2009. Under the current rules, a regulator cannot hold a central or a state government job after demitting office. Now, the reports that are filtering in at this juncture goes on to suggest that the government could very well be bringing in an ordinance to make Mr. Mishra the principal secretary to the Prime Minister. Well, would like to cut across at this point of time. My colleague Ashar Khan breaking this news at 7 p.m. on Headlines today. Ashar, get us up to speed with this breaking news. Once again, it was suggested earlier that Narendra Modi would make sure to get the people he wants close to him as his men under when he's functioning.
Well, as far as this current gentleman is concerned, Nripendra Mishra, who demitted office as chairman of TRAI, as far as rules are concerned, if you've been a chairman of TRAI, you are ineligible to hold a office under the state government or the central government. Now, this was the problem which the government was facing. So the very first thing they have done is that they have promulgated an ordinance. The ordinance is lying at the office of the President of India and they are yet to sign it. But what we expect is that it is a mere formality. So an ordinance has been promulgated. What it does is that it limits the cooling off period for 2 years. So which means that if you retired in 2009, that is the case of Mr. Nripendra Mishra, there will be a cooling off period of 2 years. For those 2 years, you will not be able to work under the hand and seal either of the state government or of the central government. Now, to counter this, they've just put a 2-year cooling off period, and that ordinance is lying with the president as we speak. So clearly, for getting his men in place for a particular individual, the newly elected Narendra Modi government, the BJP government, taking the ordinance route. Now, the critics of this, primarily the opposition, at the moment the news is just breaking in, but we've been able to speak to some people. What they're saying is that what was the tearing hurry? The parliament will soon start in the next 3 to 4 days. And as far as this specific post is concerned, it is not a statute post per se. For instance, it is not the post of cabinet secretary that or any important per se statute post that this undue hurry is being adopted.
Well, appreciate you joining us, Ashar Khan, with that bit of breaking news. But it's often said that Narendra Modi, even when he was the Gujarat Chief Minister, made sure to get the men to work under him that he wanted. A classic example of that. We'll keep our viewers updated when the ordinance kicks in. Meanwhile, we are shifting into more breaking news coming in from the BJP camp. And the question of the BJP President Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, right now is also currently the BJP party president, but his shoes need to be filled soon, and front runners in the race for that post. 3 faces have emerged. JP Nadda from Himachal Pradesh, Amit Shah and Om Mathur. Rajnath Singh was earlier today in a meeting with RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat and top Pracharak Suresh Soni. Topping the agenda was understandably a discussion on the new BJP president and a possible restructuring of the party. Let's cut across at this point of time. Javed Ansari, National Affairs editor, joining us on this bit of breaking news. Javed, out of the 3, if we look at JP Nadda, well, he seems to be the front runner, but track record in Himachal not so good. Mr. Om Mathur very close to Modi. And if it is Amit Shah, then it would be quite fascinating. The Prime Minister and the BJP party chief, both from the same state.
And perhaps that's one reason. That's one of the things weighing against Mr. Amit Shah, because it will be an unusual situation where both power centers emanate from the same state. That is Mr. Narendra Modi as Prime Minister and Amit Shah as President. Mr. JP Nadda is the front runner. He's done held the party together. He's worked very hard. He's the front runner, but Mr. O.P. Mathur also comes into the mix because he's from Rajasthan, and the BJP's leaders as well as the RSS believe that Rajasthan has been underrepresented, and perhaps he should be recognized for the efforts that he has put in. He's also bent his back in the elections. So he's in the mix, but all indications seem to suggest that it's Mr. Nadda who's got his nose ahead. You know,
Javed, when we're talking about Mr. JP Nadda at this juncture, his track record, when we're looking at his role in Himachal, it doesn't shine through because there were various issues that were raised against him.
That may be so, but you know, over the years, especially in the last couple of us in this entire electoral campaign, he's worked very hard. He's been a vital cog in the wheel as far as the party, as far as the organization is concerned. The others were doing the campaigning, but he kept the well-oiled machinery running. So he played a very commendable role, and he's played a very significant role. And most people believe that he should be rewarded for it. Also, he also enjoys the confidence of Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, which is equally important.
Right. Appreciate you joining us. So, like we pointed out, our National Affairs editor, three faces in the running right now. Mr. Om Mathur, a close aide of Narendra Modi. Let's remind our viewers that he was in charge of the last assembly elections in Gujarat. Face number 2 is Mr. Amit Shah. One big factor going against him: how can the BJP president and the Prime Minister come from the same state? And finally, the front runner in it all is Mr. JP Nadda. Will the party reward him? Well, time will tell. Trust headlines today to get you the latest on that. With that, we shift focus to the big BJP controversy. Smriti Irani, our latest newly minted HRD minister, is under fire. Well, the Congress today dropped the first volley, questioning why a 12th past candidate was chosen for the job of the HRD minister. In the past, ministers heading the prestigious Human Resources and Development Ministry have boasted of a great academic record, right from Arjun Singh to former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, the foreign educated Madhav Rao Sindhya, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, S.R. Bommai, Murli Manohar Joshi and Kapil Sibal.